Janee, and we're a different kind of couple because we were talking about how we met, and it wasn't in a traditional way, but it might be in a more popular way for today's society. We met on Bumble.
Hey, after COVID, ain't nothing traditional.
That part. So let's get into it. Okay. So.
Back in 1995.
Don't try it, but don't play me. So before a little bit about ourselves. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm 29. What about you?
I'm 32, and I'm from Kentucky.
Kentucky. So we met on Bumble, and let me set the scene. So it was at night. Well, I have been okay. Let me preface it with my dating history. I was no stranger to online dating. I've been on all the apps: Bumble, Tinder, Chispa, porque yo hablo español. What else I've been on? You name it, I've been on it. I've been on Bumble before, but it wasn't buzzing. It wasn't bubbling. So I tried it again, and this time I was getting like really nice guys, like quality guys. Like even if it didn't work out, the overall experience was nice. And this time I was for real. I was looking for my man. So I paid for the premium version, and he did too. Mm-hmm. So we matched at night. I was in my pajamas, my PJs, and I was about to go to bed. And I was just swiping. And if you pay for it, you can see who's liked you. And I saw that he liked me. And initially, I stared at his profile for such a long time. Sorry, we have a dog. Because I didn't want to know. I didn't know if I wanted to swipe left or right. I don't know if it was a cute factor. I don't think it was a cute factor. I think it was just like
You thought that I was someone I wasn't.
Yeah, because so he only had like 4 photos, and one he had his chest out, okay, big and burly, and the chest was chested. I knew what he was trying to do with that photo. What were you trying to do? Why you put your chest out?
Because I was on a run that day, and I was like, you know what, fuck it. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna post it on Bumble, and I think I only had like 4 or 5 pictures anyway. Like it wasn't like I had this whole photo album or nice little catalog of photos. I was just like, this will add some flair, I guess, to the profile.
And I was the opposite. I actually did have a photo album, and the title of the photo I was dating at photos. That's how long I've been in the game, y'all. But anyways, so, and then he had one photo in particular that confused me because he looked like he was the type of guy that goes out a lot. And that's not what I was like looking for. Like, I like to go out, but one photo in particular looked like he was like in the club. Like, I don't know. It looked weird. Like, the photo of him wasn't in the club, but it looked like that was his lifestyle. Like, just like a nomadic type of guy. So I was confused. And I finally swiped right. And we disconnected our dog's step. So he can't get all the way up on the couch. He's eating on the step. Sorry. So I finally swiped right. And on Bumble, the girl has to message first. And I messaged him. And what the hell did I say? I said, "Hey, how are you?" or some shit. I don't know.
It was late. It was late in the night. It wasn't too late. It was probably like 11 or 12 or something like that. And she was like, like she said earlier, she said she was, she's laying in bed, you're ready to go to sleep for the next day. It was during the week, and she was like, "Well, it's nice talking to you we talked briefly. It might have been like a 10-15 minute conversation." And I told her, I was like, "All right, well, have a good night. I'll hit you up in the morning, or hit you up tomorrow." And she didn't believe that I would actually hit her up, and I did when I woke up the next morning, to get ready for work or whatever. So, and I think that wasn't something that sealed the deal, but it was definitely a factor because I stuck to my word or whatever. So. And
I'm looking I have a screen recorder of our first little encounter chat on Bumble. We started talking on August 4th. I might be able to put some of this in the video somewhere if I can figure that out. And we were just talking about how we had to get up early. He had to get up at like 5 something. I had to get up at 5 something. And yes, he texted me. He said, and I quote, "Rise and shine. Did you sleep good?" And I was like, "Morning. Yes, solid. I was knocked the fuck out." And he was like, "You and me both." Definitely was not trying to get up. That's for damn sure. So from that message thread, we started talking a lot. And everything was going so well. And then I realized that he did not live in Atlanta. He lived in Kentucky.
Yeah, so what I would do when I was on Bumble was, because you have the premium, either, of course, premium anything gets you a little bit extra access to certain things that you can't with just a standard membership, whatever. So I did a lot of traveling at the time, hopping through states or whatever. So when I would drive to Atlanta, I would go through Tennessee and I would pick up, matches or likes or whatever in Tennessee. And then I would do the same thing when I came to Georgia. And then I had came to Georgia one weekend, and that's where I ended up finding her profile. So, yeah, ever since we talked every day on the way home from work for me, because I worked later into the day. And every morning, some mornings we would talk on the phone. We ended up getting into like a routine where it was like every Monday we would, if we found any new songs throughout the week or something like that, we would add these songs to a playlist.
Yeah.
So we made a playlist together, which was cool because through music alone, you can see one another's personalities and their interest through the music that they listen to. So, she had like, it's like some hip hop and rap, and then like some pop style music, and maybe a few Latin songs I really can't remember. And I know, of course, like my genres of music are like hardcore, like gangster rap, even though like that is not what I am as a person, but the music is always cool, especially from the 90s. And then like rock and roll, classic rock, stuff of that nature. So
Yeah, and then he had this one song about Giveon. Is that how you say his name? And it was like, I ain't gonna be here for long. If you looking for love, this ain't what you go somewhere else. And I was like, for a second, I was like, is he trying to tell me something? But
shit, nah.
that wasn't what he was trying to tell me. And so eventually all that talking, and when I say talking, I mean like nonstop, and just the communication was so fluid. And we talked so much that finally we decided to do a FaceTime. So, girls, you know how we are. You gonna have to schedule that FaceTime with me. You're not about to run up on me. So, I had my little face done up. My hair was curly like this. I wear it curly during the summer and straight during the winter. So it was curly, and I think I had like a little tank top on. I was giving chest. And oh my gosh, when he came on that FaceTime, I was like he was cute in the photos, but on the video it was like cute squared. Like he was drop dead gorgeous. I mean, hair was hair. I mean, look at him. He don't even know it.
That day we had talked all day because I had plans to go out to eat with my cousin. Excuse me. And like we, of course, we're texting all day long, and then I think we had reservations to go eat, or we had a time, like our time to go eat that we had decided on was like, we'll say 8 or 9. And maybe 3 or 4 hours prior to that, we had this, we talked on the phone, her and I did, and we talked for like 2 hours. And then I get to the restaurant, and I'm still waiting for my cousin to get there. So I'm just sitting in the car, and then I think that's when we FaceTimed. And we didn't get the FaceTime for long, because I was about to go, go get some food or whatever. But it was probably a good solid 30 minutes though. And, and it was cool to see each other's face and have that, have that conversation through FaceTime that time instead of, through text messages and shit. So it's always good.
What was your first impression of me on FaceTime?
Gorgeous, beautiful, very sweet, kind person. I was very happy to see you in person. I think that I'm a shy person. Other people may say differently, but it's always weird when you FaceTime someone for the first time because you don't know how the conversation goes. A conversation go very well through text messages, very well over the phone, but some people are they just don't have it together, when you come to that FaceTime. So I was a bit nervous, and I just, tried to, stay calm about it and allow allow my personality to just kind of take over and to let it do its thing and run its course. But we had a good conversation, and I don't think there's nothing about how we met I would change. And there's nothing about her that I would change.
and maybe we'll talk about this in the next video. We met August 4th, and I think we met in person for the first time at the end of August. So the experience and how that was, seeing the person that you've been talking to religiously daily, texting, FaceTiming, calling,
But
seeing them in person.
She gave me a time frame, which I get. I understand the time frame thing, you know, like you're not gonna sit here and talk long distance to some man or woman for, you know, for however long and then not see the person for 6 months. Like I completely understand that. But I was like, that's like 2 months, you know, and I don't know what I was thinking necessarily at the time, but I was like, okay, fine. I was like, so how is this weekend, you know, this day, this weekend, whatever. And she thought I was playing. She thought I was bullshitting. And then I was like, okay, believe what you want to, but when I get off work, I'm going to hop in my car. I'm going to be on my way. And that's exactly what I did. And like she said, we can talk more in detail about that, like the experience and like the 5.5 hour drive that I took and what I was, you know, what was going through my head. But we can talk about that on a later date. But very interesting.
Yep, so that's the story of how we met. We're a Bumble couple, guys. And now we live together. So,
Ta-da.
In Georgia. Probably about to move to whatever state we move to.
I don't know.
Don't know
Fuck,
either.
it might be one, it might be the other. Fuck Lord, who knows? If I could live in 2 states, I probably would.
All right, well, thank you guys for listening. Adios.